I'm getting together with my awesome friend, Kimmy's Kitchen and More. For what's for dinner, you all? Oh yeah, it's time to do some good home cooking, and I'm going to share with you what we're doing for Sunday dinner. So sit down with your cup of tea and see what we put together this week. This is an open collab. Anyone can join in any Sunday, anytime, and come up with any kind of meal. There is no budget. I'm doing budget friendly because, prices are going up. But that doesn't mean I can't occasionally make an expensive dinner. But today it's budget. And I'm going to share with you how you can cook something and stretch it out into a couple of meals. So I hope you enjoy today's What's for Dinner, you all? Don't forget to go over to What's for Dinner for you all. There is 25 channels and we have over 500 recipes. Oh my gosh, some great cooking and some great channels. Go check this out and see what they've all done. And let's go see what Grandma did today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to show how you can stretch those food dollars as best we can. We're starting with a half a pound of ground beef. Yes, a half a pound. I'm stretching this out as far as I can stretch it. And then we're going to add a half an onion. We're going to brown the ground beef up, and also we're going to caramelize those onions, for we have everything blended together really well. We're going to chop up that meat very finely because we want this to stretch out as much as we can. We're going to add 2 cups of rice and 4 cups of water to this dish. Now what we're going to do, we're going to stir that rice around and the ground beef and the onions and get that rice a little toasted up before we add any liquid to it. Now, because we've used 2 cups of rice, we're going to use 4 cups of water. We're going to add our seasonings to this also and stir this all up in there too. Because you'd be amazed what the taste of the food will be if you add plenty of seasoning. It really makes and kicks that flavor up, even though we used only a half a pound of ground beef, because we want to bring as much flavor as we can. We are going to be using garlic, herb, and black pepper, sea salt, lemon pepper, and Italian seasoning, my 3 favorite go-to seasonings. This is what I use in almost everything I cook, and it always brings out the flavor in almost anything you can think of. This is how you can get a budget meal tasting wonderful. We're using 1 small can. This one I use no salt additive. You don't have to do that, but I'm trying to keep our salt content down. That's why I use that. And I used 1 can of water on top of the 4 cups of water I already used. So this is making a lot of Spanish rice, as you can see. This is a very large fry pan. That's how we can get multiple meals out of this. We're going to have Spanish rice one day. We're going to use the Spanish rice with tacos one day. And I also added mixed vegetables into this also. And after I put all this together, these are frozen vegetables, I'm going to put a lid over it and I'm going to cook it for 25 minutes or until the rice is tender and fluffy. And this is how you can get this rice to stretch out without spending a ton of money. And this rice dish, like I said, is going to make at least 3 different meals. We're going to use it for tostados, we're going to use it for tacos, and we're going to eat the Spanish rice by itself. That's how you can stretch these meals out. When you go into the grocery store, think of different ways you can change the flavor of stuff by just changing out a few ingredients. You will be amazed at what you can do. This Spanish rice tasted great the first day, but oh my gosh, it tasted even better the second day. And look at how wonderful it all looked once we stirred it all up and dealt with. Didn't that Spanish rice look good? And it's a 1-pot meal. We have vegetables in here, meat in here, and rice in here. Very filling. And oh, was it good. Like I said, you don't have to spend a ton of money. And this made a lot of Spanish rice for a lot of meals. We could have it for lunch, we could have it for dinner, and you can just add a different side on the side, like tacos or tostado, and you have a different meal. So this is how I got 3 meals, not counting a couple lunches just with the Spanish rice, all out of 1 fry pan. It is possible. All you have to do is think out of the box a little And how can I stretch my food bill? Now, like I said, there's just me and my husband, so I'm not feeding a whole family. I'm just sharing with you. If you chop up that meat, finally you will have a little bit of meat in every bite also. We just have to start cutting back. Things are just going up too much and too expensive. And I just got to keep myself in a budget, and it isn't easy. And if you also want to add a little more flavor to it, you can also crush a little crushed red pepper flakes in there too, because I like a little bit of heat in my food, but my husband doesn't. So you can add that later after you've cooked your meal, if you have someone like my husband that doesn't like hot, spicy food. But you know, Grandma, I love the spice. So there's lots of ways to kick that flavor up just by adding a little bit of red pepper flakes. And I thought this turned out really good. Hope you're enjoying this budget-friendly meal, even though this wasn't a budget video, sharing that you can put something together that is really tasty. And that's the most important thing. You can eat and have something really tasty without spending a ton of money. Now, we're going to chop up another half a pound of ground beef. And we are going to put the other half of that onion in with this ground beef, and we're going to chop up this ground beef pretty finely also, along with browning that onion in there to give all that flavor. And that's what really makes this really taste good. And you can add a couple little bits of red pepper flakes if you want to add a little more heat to it. And like I said, I added my garlic, herb, and black pepper and sea salt, lemon pepper, and Italian seasonings to the meat and onion to give a little more flavor to that meat. For when you put it in the taco, you're going to taste the flavor. It is not going to be so bland. And here it is. This is a half a cup of ground beef. That was enough ground beef to make 6 tacos for me and my husband. Now, my husband had 3, I had 2, and then my husband had a snack with the other one. After I get my meat all cooked up and I cover it so it doesn't dry out, I have already had a fry pan on the stove, and I'm letting it heat up that oil. So when I go to cook those taco shells, they're going to be quick and easy and crispy. And not overly crispy because I like it to be a little tender inside. Now, these are a little different than most of the time. We usually put salad and stuff in a taco, but this time I'm doing avocado with just a little bit of tomato and some avocado. Oh my gosh, these tacos were so good. And all that yumminess from the seasoned meat and the cooked onion and putting that avocado in there. Now, it was a lot of avocado. Instead of putting the lettuce, we put a half of avocado in each taco. You could have easily put a side order of Spanish rice and made 1 taco, and it would have been enough. This is enough hamburger meat and sour cream and the half of avocado. Really is a very filling meal. I did eat 2 tacos, but if I'd had Spanish rice instead, I could have easily filled up my stomach with one of these tacos. Very filling and very budget friendly. Think about what you want to do next time you're having a budget friendly night. This is a great way to have something good, tasty, and something a little different. Instead of having a salad in it, a little bit of tomato and some avocado, and of course some good salsa always helps too, and a little bit of red pepper flakes, as you can see. Oh my gosh, this was a tasty, tasty, budget-friendly meal. Think about it. Think out of the box a little bit. And the sour cream was just like a spoonful. So that's not a lot of money. That sour cream went a long ways for the tacos, for tostados, and of course, we still had some left for a few more meals. See you next week.